Yes, good afternoon, and welcome to War Memorial Stadium for today's baseball game featuring a doubleheader between Allegany College of Maryland and your Apprentice School Builders. And since its inception in 1919, the Apprentice School has taken pride in producing over 10,000 apprentice graduates in support of the operational needs of Newport News Shipbuilding. The Apprentice Athletics program has fielded over 300 teams in 12 different sports over the years.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Builder Baseball. My name is David Davenport, and I will be giving you a little play-by-play for today's game. Today, the Apprentice School will be taking on Allegany College of Maryland. All right, let's go ahead and give you a quick starting lineups. We'll start with our builders first. All right, so leading off, actually, scratch that. We're going to start with Allegany first. So Allegany leading off is number 23, Kobe White. Batting second is number 1, Greg Borgs. Batting third is number 5, Christian Toledo. Batting fourth is number 2, Dylan Jones. Batting fifth is number 10, Andrew Lynch. Batting sixth is number 3, Julian Jennings. Batting seventh is number 19, Hunter Fiore. Batting eighth is number 30, Christian Cordova. And batting ninth is number 4, Logan Huckiff. And their starting pitcher for today will be Noah Williamson. For the builders, they line up this way. The outfielders are Nate Erie, Matt Phoebus, and Kyle Whitlock. And then around the infield, we have, maybe Matt Phoebus is in the infield. I might have messed that one up. Oh well. Camden Weston is in the infield. Isaac McAllister, actually he's out in the outfield. He's a utility player generally, so puts Matt Phoebus in the infield. Briggs Ellis is in the infield, and Hunter Johnson is in the infield. All right. And pitching today,
Second baseman, number 1, Greg Borges.
all right, pitching today is, where'd he go? Nick Redman. So he has appeared in 2 games so far this season. He's pitched 9 total innings. He's allowed 2 hits, 2 walks. He's had 17 strikeouts, and opponents are hitting he's mere .069 against him, as he did lead off this game with a hit batsman. Finally gets his first strike. So here's Redmond's ready for the next pitch. Here it is. Big swing and a miss by Greg Borgs for strike 2. So today's game did get moved up to 2:30 start time. We're going to play a second one this afternoon instead of having 2 tomorrow. So stick around 30 minutes after this game ends is when the next one will start. We have some incoming weather, bad weather, a little bit of rain coming tomorrow, which could impact us getting all the 2 games in tomorrow. So they just moved them today since it is a beautiful day out today. And there's a line pop up to center. Drifting back. It is caught. And for the first out.
Right fielder, number 5, Christian Toledo.
All right, next up is the right fielder, Christian Toledo, another righty. Lazy pickoff play. By Redmond. Here's the pitch. Ball 1. That might have been a little bit of pitch out maybe because it was high. Big swing for strike two. For strike one, I'm sorry. So Christian Toledo. Strike two, swinging. So Christian Toledo is a 6'1", 195-pound freshman in his first year here. There's a pop to right, shallow right out of play, and it did land in fair ground, but no one got there. So just a high strike. However, there are two strikes. So yeah, Christian Toledo, he's out of the Bronx, all the way down to Maryland to play his college baseball. And here's Redmond. Here's a pitch. Ball two. Ball three, high and outside. Coach Jones giving him a little pep talk down there. There's a swing and a hit high to right field. And it is caught for the second out of the inning.
First baseman, number 2, Dylan Jones.
First pitch is in for a strike. Still got that leadoff runner on first. He was hit by a pitch. Cody Valentine was hit by, actually, I'm pretty sure it's literally the first pitch of the game. There's a big swing for strike two. Redmond's kind of settled down a little bit since then. So now up is Dylan Jones. He's the strike three. All right, that ends this half of the inning. So no runs on no hits and one runner left. And we'll be back for the bottom of the first. Right. So as the Builders get ready to come to bat, we're going to have Isaac McAllister leading off. Wearing number 13. Batting second, wearing number 2, is Camden Weston. Batting third, wearing number 9, is catcher Caleb Russell. Batting fourth, Wearing number 15 is Riggs Ellis. Batting 5th, wearing number 23 is Nolan Edwards. Batting 6th, wearing number 21 is Hunter Johnson. Batting 7th, wearing number 20 is Kyle Whitlock. Batting 8th, wearing number 8 is Matt Phoebus. And batting 9th, wearing number 0 is Nate Yeary. As the pitcher just took his last warm-up toss, throw down to second. Allegany will throw it around the horn a little bit, back to the pitcher, and we're getting ready to go. With Isaac McAllister leading off for the Builders. Isaac McAllister is a freshman coming out of Charleston, West Virginia, as he looks at strike one. He makes contact, high fly ball to right behind second base. Second baseman calls everybody off, and he's got it for the first out. Next up is Camden Weston. He's also a sophomore. He's a sophomore from Chester, Virginia. Ball one. Went to Thomas Dale High School there in Chester. He's a 5'9" welder here at the Apprentice School. Swing and makes contact, drives the ball to center. Center fielder drifts back for a nice easy catch for the second out. Now we got Caleb Russell coming up. He's a junior. Out of Prince George, Virginia, went to Prince George High School, 6'3". He's the catcher for today's game. He looks at strike one. He's an electrician here at the school. He waits for the pitch. Wind up. Ball low. Here's the wind up. He swings. Soft grounder to the third baseman. He fields it easily. First baseman with a nice stretch to get him for the third out of the inning. All right, and that'll do it for the first inning here at War Memorial Stadium. So you kind of heard me talk a little bit about these builders have different trades. So the Apprentice School is a little bit different than your average community college or junior college or even a four-year institution. All our guys out here on the ball field today are apprentices at Newport News Shipbuilding, which basically means they go to work Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day, learning a trade, whether that's pipe fitting, welding, outside machinist installing some machinery on ships, or we also have some maintenance trades, maintenance pipe fitters, maintenance electricians. They got to keep all the shipyard buildings working to their highest potential. So these guys work a 40-hour work week, have classes 2 days a week, study, hit the books, come out here for baseball practice, come out here for baseball games. They have a lot of time on their hands that is preoccupied with baseball and school. So it's a little different than your average four-year institution or any other college, because these guys are employees of Newport News Shipbuilding. So, all right. So as the Trojans get ready to come back up to bat, Leading off for them will be Andrew Lynch. Andrew Lynch will be leading off for them this inning. So Andrew is a 6'2", 200-pound freshman out of Short Gap, West Virginia. As he steps in, he's looking and he's ready for the first pitch. It's a 64-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. It is a strike. And that ball's foul up over the dugout, hit the screen, and bounce it into foul territory down the right field line. I did not get a chance. In prep, I did not get a chance to look to see if this is their first game for the Trojans or not. That'd be a ball. This is the Builders' 5th game. They are 3-1, coming off a 1 game. They lost their last game, so there's ball 2. After winning their first 3. Here's the next pitch from Redmond. Another foul ball. Good contact is made as Andrew fights these off. Sitting here with 2 strikes. He's got to be a little more protective of the plate, the strike zone. Here's the pitch. And it's fouled straight back into the netting. Here's ball 3. Middle, guess high and outside there. And he worked himself a walk as he took ball 4 high.
Left fielder, number 3, Julian Jennings.
So next up is Julian Jennings. He's the left fielder. As he hit a soft little hit down by the pitcher, scoops it up.
The catcher, number 19, Hunter Fiore.
So now next up is the catcher, number 19, Hunter Fiore. So that play did move the runner over to first. First pitch was a call strike. Wind up, way outside. Almost maybe an effective little pitch out. So we're 1-1 here now. Ball 2 inside. So like I said earlier, it is a beautiful day here in Hampton, Virginia. If you're in the area, swing on out. That ball's fouled out of play over to right field stands. I say right field, I mean like first baseline stands. Head on out to War Memorial Stadium and If you can't check out the first game, try to get here for the second game. Cheer on the Builders. All right, Redmond has his sign. He's ready, he deals. Base, it's hit to the second baseman. He scoops it up over to first for the second out of the inning. Runner did advance to third. So again, in essence, two productive outs. The Trojans have had this inning, moving a runner from first to second and second to third. All right, and there's a foul for strike one. Redmond's getting his sign. He's runner taking his lead down the third baseline. Ball's popped back over the first base stands again for strike two. The wind is there's a pretty good wind kind of blowing in from left field across right field. The flags are pretty, well, the American flag's now kind of wrapped around the pole, but they were pretty tight earlier. So that'll affect high fly balls on the right side of the baseball field today. Kicks his leg. High for ball three. So that brings the count full, 3-2. So with two outs, here's the kick, the pitch. Called ball four. So he earns his walk. All right, so next up is the shortstop, number 4, Logan Hokuff. And he hits a fly ball to shallow right center. Oh, and Riggs almost caught it over his shoulder. That'll bring one run in. That was almost an amazing catch by the second baseman, Riggs Ellis. However, it wasn't quite close enough, so that'll put runners on first and second with two outs. Which brings us back to the top of the order. With Kobe White. Sorry, I had that marked wrong on my sheet before. And that is the end of the top of the second. So as we move on to the bottom of the second inning, it's the Allegheny College of Maryland Trojans 1, Builders nothing. So leading off the second inning is number 15, Riggs Ellis. He's a metrology apprentice here at the Apprentice School. And 2, the pitcher for the Trojans. First pitch is in for a strike. Had a very, very efficient first inning. Noah Williamson threw a total of 5 pitches in that first inning. As Riggs turns on that one, foul down the left field line, which takes a count to 0-2. So he threw he threw 7 pitches with 5 of those being strikes. So the Builders need to be looking for balls in the strike zone because he's going to bring them there. And just swing away and see what happens. Here's the kick in the pitch. Oh, and he gets caught looking for strike 3.
Third baseman, sophomore outside machinist number 23, Nolan Edwards.
Next up is Nolan Edwards. He's a sophomore outside machinist out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Just digs in, step the pitch. Strike 1. Here in the next couple weeks, I think might be next weekend, the Builders are going to be taking a trip down to Myrtle Beach. I believe it's playing a little, I guess you could say kind of like a preseason tournament as he hits that high to shallow right center. Right fielder gets under it, squeezes it for the second out of the inning.
Now batting the first baseman, freshman pipe hitter number 21, Hunter Johnson.
So next up is freshman Hunter Johnson. He's out of right here in the local 757 area, Chesapeake, Virginia. He hits a hard ground ball to the second baseman. He flips it to first for the third out of the inning. So the Builders go quickly again, 1, 2, 3. 3 up, 3 down. And Noah Williamson has faced the minimum so far as we've moved our way through 2 innings here. Let's give a little quick shout out to Bayport Credit Union, one of our sponsors here. So with nearly 148,000 credit union members and more than $2.2 billion in assets, Bayport Credit Union serves a purpose of and has a philosophy and remain faithful to their motto of people helping people. Bayport is committed to developing long-term prosperity for our communities and by committing to their members' financial well-being. Bayport Credit Union, a proud sponsor of Builder Athletics. And there is the final warm-up toss as we get ready to start the third inning. And Greg Borges is up. He flew out to the center fielder his first at bat. Here's the pitch, swing and a strike. So just to kind of compare, in essence, kind of the pitching numbers. Nick Redmond has thrown 39 total pitches in the first 2 innings. And he plunks him on the elbow. So that'll take a runner to first. And Noah Williamson has thrown 14.
The right fielder, number 5, Christian Toledo.
All right, so next up is number 5, the right fielder, Christian Toledo. He popped to the right fielder his first at bat. looks at ball one outside. So Redmond has thrown 41 pitches, and 25 of those have been for strikes, and there's a strike fouled over the first base stands. And a big old swing for strike two on the inside part of the plate. So those 41 pitches, he's had issued 2 walks. He's had 2 strikeouts so far. So the Trojans are getting the bat on the ball. And he got him on that pickoff move. All right, so now we have 1 out, 1-2 count. Nobody's on bases. Here's the pitch, and that's again fouled over the stands. You guys can start to see a little bit of shadows creeping in over on home plate. It's about to. There's ball 2. Going to start affecting the batter's eyes a little bit as the ball moves from the daylight into the shadows. Here's the pitch. And another foul tip. So as Nick Redmond is pitching to Christian Toledo here. And ball 3, he has worked the count full, been very patient. To some extent, that's been a little bit of the difference in the pitch count is that Toledo, he swings through that one for strike 3 for the second out of the inning. Like I was saying, though, the Trojans are really kind of, to some extent, being patient. Really, I guess, probably seeing the ball well as far as whether it's going to be a ball or a strike. And then the ones that are close, they're kind of fouling off, staying alive, working the count, getting deep, kind of looking for the pitch they want. And there's a ball. Big old swing and a miss. That pitch did look very pretty. 83-mile-an-hour fastball. So 1-1's a count. Here's the wind-up. Pitch. Strike 2 on the inside edge of the plate. I don't think Christian quite agreed with that. The pitch, strike 3. Next up is Kyle Whitlock. He is the DH for today. He gets strike one. Pitch, strike two. Whitlock stands in. And he fouls that ball off over to third base line. And that's way outside. That ball slipped out of his hand, it looks like. Brings the count to 1-2 on Kyle Whitlock. And he gets rung up looking on
Junior electrician, number 8, Matt Beavis.
a call that I don't think the builder dugout agreed with. So next up is Matt Phoebus. Matt Phoebus. Bounce it back to the pitcher for the put out there. 1-3.
The center fielder, a freshman pipe hitter, number 0, Nate Yeary.
Nate Yeary's up next. He's a freshman pipe fitter. Out of Cortland, Virginia, went to Southampton County High School. The left-handed hitter digs in, ready for the pitch. Strike one is the call. Steps in again. And he fouls that off his ankle. For strike two. Here's possibly the payoff pitch. Strike three. The builder's got to realize he's calling that outside corner. So the Builders once again go 1, 2, 3 fairly quickly again in their half of the inning, which makes it a little easier on the pitcher. All right, so that does it for one more inning down. All right, so Andrew Lynch is leading off for the Trojans this inning. He stands in, swings through the first pitch for strike one. Here's a windup. Swings through the second pitch for strike two. Andrew Lynch actually walked the first time at bat, and now he swings it all three pitches.
Number 3, Julian Jennings.
He gets three pitches. He swings it all three for a strikeout. So next up is Julian Jennings. So Julian grounded into a 1-3 fielder's choice, his first at bat, which moved the runner to second at the time. He checks his swing there, but it's a strike anyway. Runs a count even to 1-1. Pitch was high. Russell was able to catch that as well as catch his mask before his mask hit the dirt. Redmond kicks and fires. First strike, two. I'd already put an extra strike up. I missed one. Missed one of the balls. That's what it was. And it runs the count full. All right, so Jennings has run the count full. He's got a 3-2 count here in the top of the fourth. Nobody on. Redmond kicks, delivers, and he swings through strike three. All right, so Redmond has made good work of this half inning so far of the batters he has faced. Being efficient, throwing strikes. Next up is Hunter Fiore. He grounded into a fielder's choice his last at bat also. Second to first. Here's a soft grounder to first. I'm sorry, to third. Throw across, got him for the third out of the inning. So that'll do it. 1, 2, 3. Finally. Go the Trojans here in the top of the fourth. Here we are coming back for the bottom of the fourth as Williamson takes his last warm-up toss for the half inning. The Builders are finally coming back to the top of their order with Isaac McAllister. He's playing right field today. Leading off, he flew out to the second baseman his first at bat. So let's see if we can start putting the ball in play. See, looks at a ball outside. The Builders have not been afraid to swing the bat this game, which is a good thing. He hits that ball high to right center. The center fielder's drifting under it, and he's got it for the first out of the inning.
Batting next, the shortstop, number 2, Camden Weston.
So that brings Camden Weston up. He flew out to the same center fielder his first at bat. So as the Builders have been not afraid to swing the bat, they've just kind of hit them at people, just like that one there. Hit straight to the shortstop, picked up, and over to third, over to first for the putout, and the second out of this inning. So that brings up Caleb Russell, the catcher, number 9. He had been swinging a hot bat the first 2 weekends of the season. Now he digs in, sees the first pitch, and he fouls that back to the screen for strike 1. At 86-mile-an-hour fastball. Caleb's digging in. He looks. Here comes the pitch, high and inside for ball 1. And strike 2. So I mentioned the wind in one of the earlier innings. The flags in center field have kind of calmed down a little bit. However, it's a line shot over the second baseman's head for the Builders' first base hit of the game. As Russell rounds first.
The second baseman, number 15, Ellis.
Which brings us to Ellis. Ellis got caught looking his first time up as he takes strike 1. But the wind out in the center's kind of died a little bit, but the pennants that fly around the top of the stadium here, they're still blowing pretty hard. There's a ball outside. And actually kind of the ones down the first base line are actually blowing straight up. They kind of hang out and over at an angle, and they're more blowing straight up than anything else right now. Here's the pitch, and that is a fly ball to right field. The right fielder gets under it and makes the grab for out number 3. So the Builders crack the hit column. There goes the no-no. So that is the end of the 4th inning. So the Apprentice School would also like to thank Worley's Home Services. They are a full-service home services provider serving the Hampton Roads area. Established in 2016, their original team of 3 employees has grown to 75 strong, and they are proud and motivated to serve all of the Hampton Roads 757 community. With the best possible care, Worley's Home Services, a proud supporter of Builder Apprentice Athletics. So, a little more about Worley's. The owner of Worley's Home Services is actually an apprentice graduate. Guessing he went through the heating and air conditioning apprenticeship. Then took that skill that he learned there, started his own company, and now owns Worley's Home Services. So that is something else that is very doable as an apprentice and with the skills you learn here at the Apprentice School. All right, so as Redmond has one more warm-up toss for this half inning.
Leading off the top of the fifth, designated hitter number 30, Christian Cordova.
So next up is Christian Cordova, the designated hitter. He reached base his first trip on a base on balls. And he swings at the first pitch. Grounder to short, picked up, and thrown out for out number 1.
The shortstop, number 4, Logan Poca.
Next up is a shortstop, Logan Hokuf. So he had a fly to right center his first at bat, which produced, he did not fly out, he hit the ball to right center, which produced the first RBI and the first run of the game. So he looked at ball 1. There's ball 2. Here's a pitch from Redmond. And that is a high fly ball to the left. Left fielder calls off the shortstop. He gets under it and catches it for the second out of the inning. So that brings us back to the top of the order with Kobe White. He was hit by a pitch his first at bat and struck out swinging his second at bat. Looked at strike 1 there. Here's the pitch. He squared a bunt, but the ball was way outside. He pulled back. Him squaring caused the third baseman to charge. So now the third baseman's going to play a little more shallow. He's playing in on the grass at third. The first baseman's a little shallow, but not a whole lot. He looked at strike 2. So now the count's 2-1 with 2 out here in the top of the 5th inning. All right, Redmond wants pitch. Wow. That he got rung up for strike 3 on a pitch, and my opinion was almost in the builder's dugout. All right, we'll be back with the bottom of the 5th here in a few minutes. Right, so as Noah Williamson delivers his last warm-up pitch, just wanted to kind of update you on his performance so far today. He's thrown 34 total pitches over the 4 innings. 26 have been for strikes. He's had 3 strikeouts. All of them have been looking. So, builders now bring to the plate number 23, Nolan Edwards. He flew out to the right fielder his first at bat of the game back in the 2nd inning as he swung and fouled off strike 1. Here's the pitch. Strike two. Edwards steps back in. He's ready for the pitch. Here it comes. Ball outside. 77-mile-an-hour pitch got away from him a little bit. And swings softly at strike three. The catcher dropped it. They throw it down for the put out. So that brings Hunter Johnson to the plate. He grounded it out to the second baseman his first at bat. The big left-hander steps in. Here's the windup. The pitch is a line drive right back up the middle for the Builders' second hit of the day. So now Kyle Whitlock, another left-hander, steps in with a runner on first and one out. He was one of those strikeouts looking his first go-round. He's swinging at the first pitch, and it's a base hit between short and third. Moves the runner up a base. So here we go.
Now in the plate, the left fielder, number 8, Matt Phoebus.
So Matt Phoebus is now up, with runners on first and second, one out. Matt Phoebus digs in. Pitcher checks the runner at second, turns, fires for ball one, outside. Catcher held it for just a second to make sure they saw where the ball did cross, but he wasn't buying it. He kept with the ball strike. So there's a base hit, or not a base hit, made contact, deep center. Tag was, runner tagged at second, so now the Builders have runners at first and third with two outs.
Batting next, the center fielder, number 0, Nate Geary.
So that brings up Nate Geary, the center fielder. He struck out looking his last time. And then that ball got away from the catcher. Whitlock takes off and moves up a base. So now we have runners at second and third with two outs. Ball and a strike. Today the Builders have not hit very well with two outs. They're 1 for 5. And here's the pitch. Right. Oh, it went right under the third baseman's glove. That'll bring in Johnson. Whitlock to third, and Geary to second. So that brings us back to the top. Brings us back to the top of the lineup for Isaac McAllister. He's hit the ball today. I mean, when I say he's hit the ball, he's made contact and drove 2 fly balls to the outfield, one caught by the second baseman and one caught by the center fielder. So he digs in here with 2 outs and fouls the first pitch back just to my right over the stands. First strike one. So those are Builders, obviously their first hit with runners in scoring positions today. He looked at ball one go by. He digs in. He's ready. Noah Williamson's ready for bring his third pitch of the at-bat. And it's a base hit back towards the short. He picked it up. He overthrew the relay to third home, and both runners score. So what looked like it could have been a very simple routine shortstop 6-3 put out turned into an error. So they gave him an error on that one, on the throw. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch is a ball. So the Builders are still looking to do a little more damage here, hopefully. With Camden Weston. Ball got away from the catcher. Was a called strike. And Nate scampers down the line, scampers down to second base. He took a huge, secondary lead after the pitch, too. And then once he saw the ball get away, he was easily going to make it to second. So Camden steps in with his 2-1 count. And he looks at strike two go by. All right, 2-2 pitch. And it's fought off. Camden lives to see another pitch here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Runner at second base, 2 outs, 2-2 count. And he hits that foul. That foul down the third base line, just inside the bag. Weston stands in. Williamson gets the signs. He's ready to go. Here's the pitch. Another one fouled off down towards the first base visitors' dugout. Another 2-2 pitch, 2 outs, runner on third. He goes, and it's a fly ball to left. It's going to be a foul fly ball to left. Maybe a little bit of a premature bat flip by Mr. Camden Weston. All it was a long strike. Well, not even a strike, because he had 2 strikes anyway. Here's the pitch. And he swings through that one for strike 3. And that does it. So on 3 hits, the Builders score 3 runs. There was 1 error, and the Builders left 1 on base. So as we move to the top of the 6th, the Builders lead 3-1. So, leading off is Greg Borges. He was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. And he looks at strike one here in his first pitch in this at-bat. So Nick Redmond has thrown 73 pitches today. I guess it's 75 pitches now, as that's softly hit to the second baseman and put out by the first baseman.
The right fielder, number 5.
Next up is the right fielder, number 5. Christian Toledo. He struck out and flied out to center, or to right, I'm sorry. So Redmond has kind of settled in a little bit here in the last couple innings. Been able to, 66 mile an hour off speed pitch for a strike. And foul tip back to the netting for a strike 2. So on the throwback, I think Redmond lost it, maybe in the sun. That ball was high. All right. So Redmond is ready for the pitch. Another ball high. The Builders do have someone tossing in the bullpen, and that's a base. Yes, I keep saying base hit, but there's a hit to the shortstop. He throws over to first, who stretches, and 6-3 on the put out there. So this being a doubleheader, we are only playing 2 7-inning games. So it's Logan Mize out there in the bullpen. He was throwing. He's kind of slowed down a little bit now. With Dylan Jones at the plate, he struck out his first 2 at-bats. Both were swinging. As he tipped the first pitch. There's another foul ball for strike 2. So Dylan steps back in. Russell sets up. That ball's high. 1-2's the count. On that 79 mile an hour pitch. Redmond lifts his leg, fires, ball high, 2-2. Ball's a little high and in. Here's a 2-2 pitch, fouled back to the screen. All right. This is Dylan swinging through strike 3. And that does it for the top of the 6th for the Trojans. They're down to 3 more offensive outs. And we'll be back after this. right, so Caleb Russell is going to lead off the bottom of the 6th for the Builders. Caleb Russell is 1 for 2 today with a line drive to right field. And there's a really high short fly ball. And the second baseman called him off, but it ended up hitting the first baseman in the I don't think it caught him in the back of the head. I feel like it caught him in the on his back, but I'm not exactly sure where. So as they attend to him, so he's up and walking back to his position. It was a really high fly ball. And like I said earlier, the wind is kind of blowing in from left, so it's blowing from left to right. So it really just kept pushing that ball farther and farther into foul territory. And the second baseman had called off the first baseman, who is not Camden, that's our number 2, is Dylan Jones. So had called him off, and he was trying to get out of the way. And then getting out of the way, he kind of just ducked his head, and the ball ended up hitting him kind of in his back, kind of in the. I don't think it hit him in the back of the head, but it may have got him on like the back of his neck, upper back area. So that is a strike. That was a foul ball for strike 1. Here's the pitch. And strike 2. 85 mile an hour pitch. Kind of might have had a little bit of late movement on it. Woo! And Russell swung at a pitch that would have been behind a left-handed batter. So for the first out, that brings up Riggs Ellis, the Metrology Apprentice. Here's the first pitch of his at bat, low for ball 1. Here's ball 2. Ball 3. And the wind up. And Riggs draws himself a walk on 4 straight pitches.
Number 23, Nolan Edwards.
So that brings up Nolan Edwards, who's flown to the right fielder and struck out. There's a foul tip for strike 1. So the Builders are getting an extremely large secondary lead which the catcher just kind of snap throwed to first to try to get him. And just been shown a note that it's because Noah hasn't thrown over it all. So they're actually getting, in all reality, quite a large initial lead, too. And there's off the inside part of the bat, it's going to drop in shallow right field, and they're going to get the force out at second because Riggs had to freeze on the fly ball for the second out. So what could have been an easy, probably should have been caught, but it dropped, and they got Riggs on the force. Some of it might have had to do with the sun, to be honest. At this time of day, this time of year, you're kind of looking right into the sun on that side of the stadium. So there's ball one outside. So yeah, if Noah keeps, in essence, kind of just ignoring the base runner, they're going to get a little bit bigger lead and go whenever they want. And that ball's lined right back up the middle, right over the pitcher's head. So Builders are getting another little two-out rally started as we now have runners on first and second. That brings up Kyle Whitlock. He looks at strike one. Strike two. Whitlock steps in for the third pitch of the at-bat with runners on first and second. Noah Wines pitches. Ball's high and outside. Gets away from the catcher again, and the runners will move up to second and third. So now Whitlock is looking at a 1-2 count with runners on second and third. Nice opportunity to put a couple more runs on the board, a little more insurance runs in a way. Ball two. Ball's a little high. Noah kind of even had to hop for that return throw a little bit. So here's Whitlock standing in, ready for the pitch. And that ball's outside for ball three. So that, go. So that snap throw to third. The third baseman, I don't know if he wasn't ready for it, just missed it, but it went under his glove and snuck out into left field, which gets the Builders another run. So 3-2 count, 2 outs. Whitlock's at the plate, facing Williamson. And he draws the walk on a pitch that's high. So Matt Phoebus is up. There's a little bit of stirring down there in the bullpen for the Trojans. He almost doesn't look like he's in a hurry throwing either, though. He's just tossing. So runners on first and third for the Builders. Ball outside. So Phoebus is grounded out to the pitcher and flown out to the center fielder today so far. And he looks at ball 2. In my opinion, must have been a little low. So 2-1 count, 3-1 count, because that pitch was outside. So either the pitcher out there is either warmed and ready and he's just tossing to keep his arm warm, or there's ball 4 to load him up. And here comes one of the coaches out of the dugout to talk to the pitcher as he makes the motion down to the right field bullpen. We are going to have a pitching change here in the bottom of the 6th. So as he tosses his warm-up pitches, we're going to step away. I'm going to see if I can get the stats to refresh and tell you a little bit about Noah's day. All right, so 2 warm-up pitches left. Noah's line, he threw 79 pitches, 51 for strikes. He had 6 strikeouts on the day, 3 were looking. He gave up 5 hits, 4 runs. I guess if you want to look at it this way, he had 4 base on balls. The perks of the runs, only one of them was earned. So he only gave up 1 earned run, so his ERA for today was a 1.59 earned run average. So in the long run, it's not a bad stat line. The Builders just kind of got to him here a little later on in this game. So that brings in, I just remember looking at the guy's name. Yuri's into bat. Here's the first pitch, high and outside. So this is John Dima, is the new pitcher on record. Big right-handed pitcher, ball 2. He just walks, walks into a nice little situation. Bases loaded, 2 outs. New batter at the plate, so it was an empty count to start with. And that's a strike. Ball looked high outside from, the press box, but, And here's ball 3. That ball was definitely outside. So he's worked the count to 3-1, has Yuri. As the Builders are hoping to give a couple runs. And there's a strike. So he works the count full, 3-2. 3-2 count, 2 outs, runners on first and second. The runners will be going a little bit to crack at a bat. Here's the pitch, and that's ball out. Okay, that was strike 3. I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised that was strike 3. However, it was strike 3. So that ends the threat in the bottom of the 6th, where the Builders put up one more run on I don't know if they had any hits, but there was one error, and the bases were left loaded. So Redmond comes in for the last to finish this game off, and we'll be back in a minute.
Leading off for Allegany College of Maryland, number 8, Vince Leonardo.
Say that again? All right, so leading off for the Trojans is number 8, Vince DeLeonardo. So we have a pinch hitter in. So he obviously has no stat line for the day. However, Redmond is back for the bottom of the 7th. I'm sorry, the top of the 7th, where he's thrown 86 pitches. Had 8 strikeouts and 2 walks. He's also hit a couple batters. I don't see that on there, though. First pitch was a strike. Second pitch was high for ball 1. There's a foul tip for strike 2. To some extent, if you want to look at it this way, for Redmond, coming into the 7th inning, he should have faced 18 batters. He's faced 22 batters so far, so he's only really faced 4 over the minimum. He's pitched a good ball game. And there's a ball high. There's ball 3. That ball had a ton of movement on it. Here's a payoff pitch. He fouls that one back. But, so Redmond is in to hopefully close this one out. And he gets a swing for strike 3, and as the Builders go to throw the ball around the horn, the ball goes to left field. So now, we're going to do this, huh? So now bench hitting is Daniel Burns. So Redmond stands on top of the mound. He throws strike 1. Daniel Burns is a sophomore out of O'Fallon, Illinois. And that ball's high for ball 1. So that runs the count to 1-1. Here's a windup. Big old swing for strike 2. Wind up the pitch, payoff pitch, strike 3. There it is, out number 2. So that brings the Trojans to their final out of the day. Well, of this game. And we got us another pinch hitter. Seth Floyd, number 44, is pinch hitting. So he steps in to face Nick Redmond. Redmond delivers. Strike, 66 mile an hour. Off-speed pitch. Winds, delivers. High ball 1. All right. Nick winds. Strike 2. All right, one more strike. And that'll do it for the game 1 here. Here's the payoff pitch. Redmond winds, and it's popped high on the infield. The shortstop moves under it. He squeezes it for the 3rd out, and that's it. There it is. The Builders have won the game. Game 1, game 2 coming up here shortly. And we'll get that game going here in about 30 minutes. But this game has gone final. So the Builders take game 1 with a final score of 4-1. So Allegany College of Maryland scored 1 run on 1 hit and had 2 errors, whereas the Builders put up 4 runs on 5 hits and committed no errors for this game. So, like I just said, we're going to take about a 30 or so minute break. We're going to refresh the live stream here. So I will be shutting this one down and we'll be starting a new one. So thank you for joining us. Again, I'm David. Wow, it's like I had to think about my own name there, guys. I'm David Davenport. And my father, Mike Davenport, was on the camera for us. And we will see y'all in a little bit.